It's not yet, it's almost.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so let's start. I feel like we need to get the lead out, as the I was gonna say as the old folks say, but I'm getting old now too. So let's start with we're gonna do palm tree pose. We're gonna do one arm at a time. All right, so actually we'll just start with just the arms. You're probably noticing where you're tight everywhere. Maybe that's just me. Excellent. Okay, so let's release that and shake out the arms, shake out the legs, and then let's do a proper palm tree pose. So feet can be hip width distance or so apart. We're going to inhale, arms up on the toes, and then exhale down. If you want to break it down and just do the arms or just the feet, that's fine too. If you want to add a level of difficulty to this, come up on the toes, arms come down, and then lift the toes. Up on the toes, come down, lift the toes. Excellent. All right, let's do one more. Nice. If you want, you can shake it out. Excellent. Let's do standing cat and cow. We'll do our lateral twist, and then we'll come back to another balance. So for our standing cat and cow, we're gonna bend the knees, hands on the front of the thighs, dip the chin, tuck the tailbone under. This is our exhale, our cat. And then on the inhale, rounding up, looking up, cow. And then exhale back to cat. Back and forth between the two. And you can start off with smaller movements, and then as the body's warming up a little bit, maybe go a little deeper. Excellent. Okay, one more time in each direction. And then back to neutral. Nice. All right, for our lateral, we're gonna bring the feet out a little bit wider. Our center of gravity changes a little bit when we're going side to side here. And start with one hand on the hip or that arm down that leg. We're gonna inhale this other arm up. And then exhale, bring it back. Second side, inhale. And exhale. And again, with this one, as you're warming up, if you want to go a little deeper, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. Excellent. One more time each side. Nice. And release. All right. Shake it out if you like. And then let's do our twist. So hands can be anywhere from here to here, whatever feels good. We're going to inhale nice and tall. On the exhale, turn to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. If you prefer to swing back and forth, that's fine. Just go gently. Nice. And one more time each side. And then back to center. Awesome. All right, so let's do our other moving balance, our Karate Kid flying crane. And because we want to do a little extra balance today, let's do, we're gonna do 4 versions of it. So we'll start with the original one and do 3 other ones as well. All right, so hands start in the center. We're gonna lift one knee up, hands come out to the side, exhale back to center, and then other side. Nice, we'll do that for a little bit. Excellent. All right, let's do one more time on each side with this one. Excellent. All right, so the second one we're going to do is opposite knee. So we start with hands out to the side. We're going to lift one knee up, touch it with the opposite hand, and then back down. And then the other side. And again, maybe try and go slower. It's fun to go fast, but it's more work if you go slower, and it helps with the balance a little bit more. Helps challenge the balance. It's easier for the balance to go faster, but we want to challenge. Excellent. All right, one more time each side on this round. And release. Need to shake anything out, go for that. And then our next one, we're going to add big arms. For this one, we're going to do opposite knee and arm. Some people call this mountain climbers, but that's all right. So here we go. So we're going to lift one knee up, opposite arm, back down, and then other side. So besides warming us up, it's kind of a bit of a brain challenge. Getting the neurons to fire on either side. Excellent. Let's do one more time each side. Excellent. You can check that one out. And then for the last one, we're going to do, what do I want to call this one? This is kind of like marching, but this is helpful for not recovery time. There's a different word that I'm thinking of. I'll think of it later. That's all right. We're just going to do the pose. All right, so arms straight out in front, and we're going to lift the knees up towards the arms as fast as you can. All right, so here we go. Knees up towards the arms. And you don't have to go really fast if you don't want to. Excellent. Okay, let's do one more time each side. And release. All right, check it out. Okay, so everybody's like sweating now. Just me over here by the heater. Let's do a little waking up the feet a little bit, even though they're probably not doing too bad, but we'll just get some movement in there. So we're going to lift the toes up, spread them out, send them back down. You can play with putting one down at a time. If you have socks on, it might be hard to see, but that's okay. You can play with that as possible. All right, release that. And then we're gonna suction cup that inner arch, big toe to heel side, and then release. Pinky toe side, lifting up that arch, and release. Let's do that both one more time each side. Lift that inner arch and release. Lift that external arch and release. You want you to shake that foot out. And then to kind of open up the top of the foot, if you can, we're going to come onto the toes and kind of wiggle that foot. Nice. And then shake it out. All right, let's do the other side. So we're going to lift the toes up, spread them out, set them down. You can play with one toe at a time. Excellent. Release the toes. We're going to activate that inner arch, pull it up like a suction cup, and release it. Do the outer arch, pinky toe side, and release. Let's do that one more time. Each side, lift that inner arch, and relax it, and then the outer arch, and relax it. Nice. And then let's come over onto the tops, and then wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, there might be one side that's not as flexible as the other. So that's your homework. Work on that side more. There you go. All right, shake it out. And then let's do, we'll do the wrist. So bring the arms out in front, tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers, and make circles with the wrist. Getting into the elbows and the shoulders. Excellent. Release that. Shake it out. Palms together. Interlace the fingers and make figure eights. Excellent. We're going to pause for a moment. Pull the hands apart. Switch which fingers on top. Excellent. And we'll release that and shake it out. All right. So let's do a couple of neck movements, and then we'll come back to some other yoga poses. Or no, then we're going to do some nerve flossing. All right, so let's do this first. So we're going to go inhale, exhale, chin down to the chest. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, looking up just as far as is comfortable. Exhale, back down. One more full time. Inhale all the way up. And exhale back down. Nice. Inhale to neutral. And then we're going to go side to side. So we're going to exhale ear to shoulder. Inhale center. Exhale other side. Inhale center. Back to the first side. Inhale center. Exhale second side. Back to center. One more time each side. Exhale to the first side. Inhale center. Exhale to the second side. Nice. We're going to inhale center, and then we're going to do it one more time each side with an added bonus. So let's go back to the first side, ear to shoulder. And then we're going to drop the chin forward. Come back up to center, which is the ear to the shoulder. And then gently, not going too far, chin up towards the ceiling. Back to center, and then we're going to bring the head to center, and then exhale to the other side. Chin drops forward. Inhale, center, ear to shoulder, and then very gently chin up. Back to ear to shoulder center, and then inhale, center, center. Awesome. Did you like that, guys? Did you like that one? It's kind of new. It's kind of different. And then let's do the last one. So the chin towards the shoulder. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, chin comes towards the shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Nice. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the second side. Inhale back to center. Let's do just one more each side. Exhale to the first side. Inhale center. Exhale second side. Nice. Inhale back to center. All right, so let's do a little kind of neck nerve flossing. So we're going to do a couple things to warm that up a little bit more. So we're going to bring the hands out to the sides. We're gonna start with palms facing down, and then on the inhale, we're gonna turn the palm up towards the ceiling. If you can bring the thumb further back, don't overdo it, but just if it goes back a little bit further. And then exhale, we're gonna bring the palm back to neutral, and then keep going. Thumb goes towards the floor, and maybe continue. And then back, so just back and forth between the two. Feeling that rotation. If you want to add the head on, as the palms face up, you can look up a little bit, and then as the palms face down, you can curve the head down a little bit. But you don't have to, you can just keep the arms moving. Excellent. Okay, back to neutral, and then release the arms, shake them out. And then here comes the big one. All right, so we're gonna start with arms flat again, and we're gonna tilt the fingers of one hand down and the other hand up. And then we're gonna move the head in one direction, back to neutral, and then switch the finger points and the head turn. So the most important thing with this one is to go really slow. The nerves themselves are not elastic, so we don't want to stretch what we're doing. We're just kind of flossing like you'd floss your teeth. Excellent. Okay, back to neutral. Head comes to center. Both fingers point out towards the side. And we'll shake the arms to release, and anything else that got tight. All right, let's do warrior one, and then we'll do tree pose. All right, so we're gonna turn one foot out, step that first foot forward. And if you want, again, you can open up those toes and then set them back down. We're gonna inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. If you want, you can put your hands on the hips to keep that torso vertical. And then the gaze is going to be towards the horizon or down towards the floor, anywhere in that range. Excellent. And then we're going to push off, step back, or step that back foot forward. That foot turns out, second foot forward. And again, if you want to lift up the toes, spread them out, and then send them back down. You can have the hands on the hips or down by your sides. On the inhale, straight leg, exhale, bend. Excellent. And then we're going to push off and step back. All right. Let's add the arms. And since we want to do the lower back later, let's do cactus arms with this. All right. If there's a different one you prefer, you are welcome to do that, but I'm going to do cactus arms for today. Again, if you want to open up the toes, spread them out, send them back down. And then here we go. So we're going to inhale. Bend that front knee, you can bend the elbows, and then exhale back. All right, let's do one more. Nice. And then we're going to switch feet. You can step back or step forward. Turn that foot out. The other foot comes in front with the toes. Spread them out, set them down. And I'm going to do cactus arms again. If you don't want to do that one, you can do one of the many other ones we have. And here we go. So we're going to inhale, bend the front knee, bend the elbows, exhale back. And one more. Nice. All right, step the feet back together. And then tree pose, and then we're gonna do half sun salutation. All right, so tree pose. Come off over here. So we're gonna root one foot down into the floor, heel above the ankle of the other foot, and then we wanna check in with this hip, nice and strong and straight, activating the muscles around the joint. Hands at the heart. And then we're gonna inhale, grow your branches. So you can go power pose, index fingers pointing up towards the ceiling, got a Y, got a T, and move the hands. If you have your balance and you want, you can lift that foot up higher, not required to. Most important, we want to keep the breath going. If you get a little wobbly, you can extend from the crown of the head. Excellent. And then coming out nice and gracefully. And shake it out, especially maybe that straight leg. And then let's do the other side. So heel above the ankle. Check in with that straight leg hip, activating those muscles around it. Hands at the heart. We're gonna grow our branches. And then power pose with the fingers, Y, T, move the branches. Keep the breath going. And if you feel like you have your balance you want, you bring that foot up higher. If not, that's okay, you can stay on the floor. And if you fall out of your pose, know that you can come right back in. Excellent, and then coming out nice and gracefully. Excellent, all right, check it out. So we're gonna do half sun salutation, celebrate the sun coming out for 5 minutes today. We're gonna do 2 rounds. So the first round is just our regular one, and then the second round, we're gonna take an extra breath. And when we're in that extra breath, we wanna use the breath to extend the spine. So we'll do that when we do that round. All right, so feet are hip width approximately. They can be wider if that feels more stable. And here we go. So hands start at the heart. We're gonna inhale, hands come down, arms come up. And then exhale, arms out to the side, bend the knees, fold forward. We're gonna inhale, halfway lift. The hands can come to the front of the legs. And then exhale, fold forward, bend the knees nice and deep, arms out to the side, push the feet into the floor, inhale, palms come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, hands down, arms up. Exhale, arms out to the side, forward fold. A little softness in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, arms come out to the side. Push the feet into the floor, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, arms out to the side, push the feet into the earth. Arms come all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so let me show you vaguely what I'm talking about. It may or may not click in your body, but the more you hear it, sometimes it makes sense. So we're gonna do the whole first part, and then we're gonna come down. We're gonna come back up, and this is where we're extending the head that way and the tailbone that way. So that's an inhale here, and then exhale to release, okay? Hopefully that sort of makes sense. If not, don't worry about it. We're just gonna add that extra breath. So here we go, hands at the heart. We're gonna inhale, hands down, arms up. Exhale, arms out to the side, forward fold. We're gonna inhale and halfway lift. We're gonna stay here, exhale, And then we're going to take that extra inhale. See if you can feel the head and the tailbone moving away from each other. And then exhale, fold forward again. Bend the knees nice and deep, arms out to the side, push the feet into the floor. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to try it 2 more times. Inhale, arms down, arms up. Exhale, arms out to the side, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. The hands can rest on the front of the legs. And stay here and exhale. On your next inhale, feel that whole torso expand. Soften the knees. We're going to exhale, fold forward again. Bend the knees nice and deep, arms out to the side, push the feet in. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, one more time to get it perfect. Just kidding. One more time, just to practice. All right, here we go. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to pause here, exhale. Inhale, feel like somebody's pulling your head one direction, your tailbone the other. And then on your next exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, arms out to the side, push the feet in. Inhale, coming all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. All right. I'm not going to ask if you felt that or not.
I did.
Did you? Okay, so that's what we're...
My spine actually kind of cracked. So.
Awesome. So there's other things we can do to kind of activate that, but it's hard with the video. All right, so what are we going to do next? Let's do Warrior 2. And we'll do the 2 moving bits with it, and then we'll do a high lunge after. All right, so here we go. So Warrior 2, we're going to step 1 foot forward. The back foot's at 90 degrees. Heel lines up with the arch of the foot approximately. Hands at the heart, arms open out to the side. We're going to bend that front knee over that front ankle. Soften the shoulders, extend the arms out. Looking over those front fingers. On your next exhale, we're going to bend that front elbow. That forearm comes to that thigh. This backhand can be hand on the hip, hand up towards the ceiling, or that arm over the ear. On your next inhale, we're going to windmill around. Bring that front hand up towards the ceiling, peaceful warrior. And then exhale back to side angle pose. Again, inhale, peaceful warrior. And exhale back to side angle pose. And last, inhale with a peaceful warrior. And then back to Warrior 2. Drop the arms and step the feet back together. Excellent. All right, check it out. And then let's do the other side. Hands at the heart, arms open out to the side, gazes over those front fingers. Then we're going to soften the shoulders. On your next exhale, bend the elbow, forearm to that front thigh. This backhand can be hand on the hip, arm up towards the ceiling, or arm over the ear. On our next inhale, windmill around to peaceful warrior. And then we're going to exhale back to side angle pose. Excellent. Inhale again, peaceful warrior. And one more time through side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Nice, back to warrior two. And then we'll drop the arms and step the feet back together. Excellent. All right, check it out. So let's do our high lunge. Maybe next week we'll get the blocks out and do. So let's start with a couple of different options how to do this. So I usually like to step backwards because that helps with balance. If that feels a little iffy, step forward, that's fine. And then we're just going to do both sides, so it doesn't matter which one you start with. All right. So I'm going to lift one leg up, step back, or step 1 foot forward. And then we're going to do 3 breaths here. So back foot, oops. You can be up on the toes on the back foot or have that heel down towards the center, whatever feels more stable. All right, this is more work for the legs to be up on the toes, but whatever you want to do. All right, so we're going to inhale, arms up. And then on the exhale, I'm going to bring the arms down and step my back foot forward. You can just bring the arms down if you don't want to move the legs. All right, and then lifting that knee up, step back or step forward. Inhale, bring the arms up. And then coming out. Nice, one more time. So get the legs set, and then we're going to inhale, bring the arms up. Excellent, and then coming out. Nice. All right, the other side might be easier or harder, depending on if you went easy first. All right, so here we go. So we're going to get the legs in position, and then inhale, arms up. Exhale, come out. The knee up, step back. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, come out. And one more time. Inhale, arms up. Excellent. And then back down. Nice. All right. So let's do squat folds. And then we're going to think about what we're going to do next. All right. Haven't decided. Okay. So for these, I move the feet around. My feet are closer when I do the fold, and then I kind of step out a little bit to do the squat. You can keep the feet in the same position. Doesn't matter that much, but it might be easier with the legs a little wider to do the squat. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna inhale the arms up, and then we're hinging at that hip socket. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up, bending the knees. And then we're going to bring the hands together and then squat down. And you don't have to go all the way down, just part way. Inhale, come back up. Bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Palms together. Exhale, squat. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, squat, and we'll do one more set. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, up. And then exhale, squat. Nice. From here, if you want to come and sit all the way on the floor, that's what I'm going to do. If you need to come back up to sit, that's fine too. But however you get down there, coming into a seated position. All right, so let's do, let's start with cat and cow seated, because we didn't do a lot of asymmetrical stuff, but we'll still do this. So seated, you can have the legs out front or you can have the legs crossed, whatever's more comfortable. If the legs are crossed, hand over the knees. If the legs are out, hands under the thighs. We're going to exhale back to cat. Inhale, rounding up, looking up, cow. Excellent. And then back to neutral. Since we're here, let's do our other two. Do our lateral hand down on the floor. Inhale, arm up and over. Exhale, bring it back. Second side. And since we've done all that other stuff, the spine might be a little bit more warmed up and flexible here. Excellent. Let's do one more time each side. Nice. All right, back to center. Let's do just a little gentle twist, not going too deep or too far. So we're going to inhale nice and tall. Exhale, turn to the first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Excellent. One more time each side. And then back to center. All right, so if they're not out already, let's bring the legs out in front. And we're gonna do forward fold with the legs straight, and then we're gonna do wide-legged folds. All right, so both legs out in front, kind of legs lined up with the hip sockets. We're gonna inhale the arms up, let gravity help us here. Exhale, we're hinging at that hip joint. Fold forward, wherever the arms get to, just tap down, and then inhale, bring them back up. And exhale, fold forward, tap down, inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do one more, inhale, coming up. And then on this last one, we're gonna exhale, come down, grab the legs wherever you're reaching. We're gonna pull the chest forward. Exhale, pull the belly button in, and then round forward if that feels okay on the spine. Otherwise, you can keep the spine straight. Look at the toes. Excellent. And then to come out, we're going to extend the arms over the legs, push the legs into the floor. Inhale, coming up, and then exhale and release. Nice. All right, wide legs. Okay, so we're going to take one leg out to the side, and then we're going to bend the other knee, bring that foot into that thigh. And then using gravity again, inhale, arms up. We're going to turn the torso to face the extended leg. Exhale, fold forward, tap down, inhale, come back up. Let's do it 2 more times. Exhale, fold forward, tap down, inhale, bring it back up. And last time, exhale, fold forward. We're not going to stay down. Inhale, come back up. Turn back to center, exhale, and release. Nice. All right, let's switch sides. Other leg out. Inhale, bring the arms up, turn the torso towards that extended leg. Exhale, fold forward, tap down, inhale, bring it back up. Again, exhale, fold forward, tap down, inhale. And one more time, exhale down, we're not staying down. Exhale, bring it right back up. Turn back to the center, exhale, and release. Nice. All right, so let's bring both legs back to center again. And we're going to do, just to kind of release the hips a little bit. So we're going to bring the legs out maybe as wide as your mat. It doesn't have to be further than that. And instead of windshield wipers like this, we're going to go in and then out. So just a little different sensation. We're still moving the same way, but it kind of activates the muscles in a little different manner or order. Excellent. All right, from here, we're gonna do bigger windshield wipers with the knees. So hands come behind you. We're gonna bend the knees. You might need to sit up slightly different or lean back a little bit. Feet are in the mat, and then we're just gonna go side to side with the knees. Excellent. All right, release that. And then from here, we're gonna sit back up and bring the soles of the feet together. So starting out, they can be out nice and far from the torso. We're gonna take the hands near the ankles. Inhale, like lift the spine nice and straight. And then exhale, you can bring the elbows to the knees. And just gently resting the elbows on the knees, opening up that hip joint a little bit. If you want, okay, so release that. And then if you want, you can bring the feet in closer. If they don't want to come in closer, just leave them where they are. And then a little gentle butterfly. I think we've got some knee and hip replacements in the group, so we don't want to overdo anything. Excellent. All right, one last little yoga trick here. So if you want, taking the soles of the feet so they're up against each other now, and then opening them up like a book. Sometimes the knees will come down a little bit, or a lot, depending on what kind of angles that you can manage here. All right, so we're gonna release that. We're gonna use the hands under the knees, bring the knees back together, wrap the arms around the knees, drop the chin, and rock side to side. Excellent. From here, we're going to come back onto the spine. So I'm going to turn my mat sideways here so you can see what I'm doing a little better. All right, so feet come up to the top of the mat, hands on the knees, and we're going to roll back onto the flat of the back. All right, so if we're working on some lower back discomfort or pain, we definitely don't want to go into pain. So just be mindful of that. And then the idea is if there's problems in the lower back, sometimes there's all different kinds of causes, but sometimes it's because muscles are tight somewhere else or that muscles are weak somewhere else. So the body is compensating. So we're going to do a little bit of both of those, stretching some stuff and then strengthening some stuff. But the first thing we're going to do is what I like to call magic 3. So basically we're going to start at the low back and move our way up with counter poses. So starting out, we're gonna bend the knees, feet in the mat. And we do this sometimes when we're in mountain pose where we do those pelvic tilts. So we're gonna do this on the floor on our spine. And this is what it looks like. So we're gonna notice where the tailbone is because that's kind of our marker about where we're going. And then I have my hands where the iliac, the neutral for the pelvis is. So if you can see that as I'm moving that, that's great. If you can't see it, that's okay. We're just gonna work through this anyway. So the first thing we're gonna do is push the feet into the mat, and that's gonna flatten out that lumbar spine. So somebody the other day, I was showing this to somebody and they called it the mouse hole. What I usually do is I can stick my hand under there behind my spine when I don't have my feet pushed in. So we're just gonna do that back and forth. We're flattening out that lumbar spine, that little hole there. And the pelvis, the tailbone tilts up when we push the feet in, and then it comes back to neutral. And then we're gonna bring the tailbone towards the floor, and that's gonna give us that whole nice big space under that lumbar spine. So back and forth. So that's the first one, is this pelvic tilt. All right, so release that one. And if you didn't get it and you want me to show you after class, I can do that, but hopefully that was clear enough for now. All right, next one we're gonna do is Apanasana. So that's gonna do counter poses on that mid back. And then there's 3 options for Apanasana. So we can do one knee at a time. Exhale, bring that knee in. Inhale, foot to the floor, and then the other side. You can do both knees at the same time. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. Or I like to do this one at the end of class, is wide-legged Apanasana. I think it gives you a little bit more space in that lower, or in the mid back when we're doing this. So any of those 3 that you like, we'll do a few Apanasana. And again, nice and slow, and see if you can move with the breath. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. I'm not going to lie, that breath is pretty much the key to yoga. So if you've got that hacked down, you're doing pretty good. Excellent. All right, so we're going to release that. Both feet come down to the mat. 2 options with the feet for this last of the magic 3. You can have the knees bent, feet on the mat. That may feel better on that spine. Or you can extend both legs all the way straight out. So your choice, knees bent or legs straight. And then the last of the magic 3 is the palm tree pose. So we're going to inhale, arms up overhead to the floor above you. We've moved the arms a decent amount, so you might be able to go all the way up on the first time. If not, if you've got some impingement in the shoulder and that doesn't go all the way up, that's okay. You can do cactus arms, or you can do snow angel arms. Although no calling in more snow with the snow angels. All right, so one of those 3 for this last movement. This is getting into that thoracic spine up around the rib cage, which everything is connected. So if there's low back pain, sometimes maybe there's tight muscles in the upper spine. All right, so we'll do a couple more of these. And then we're going to do one last one all together. We're going to inhale, arms up overhead, and we're going to extend the fingers away from the torso. If you have your legs out, extend the heels out. Feel that nice good morning stretch. And then we're going to exhale, arms back down by your sides. Excellent. All right. So if your knees are not bent now, we're going to bend the knees. And we're going to bring the hands on the knees. Exhale, knees in. And then on the inhale, we're going to bring the feet up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. All right, so after that, we're going to do L's, E's and L's. Yeah. All right, so inhale, open, feet come up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. This inhale, again, open. We're going to open the legs up a little bit wider, and then exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Let's do that one more time. A little bit wider, legs come out to a V, And then exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. So we're going to do it 2 more times with the knees and the legs coming in a little bit. Inhale, the skinnier V. Exhale, bend the knees. And then last time, inhale, legs up so that they're close together. And then exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. All right. From here, we're going to exhale the knees in. On the inhale, we're going to send the feet out with the shins parallel to the floor, just as far as you can, which may not be very far, but this is a core strengthener. Exhale, bring the knees back in. And then inhale, send the feet out. Exhale, bring the knees in. One more time, inhale, legs go out. Or feet go out, sorry. Exhale, knees come in. All right, so we're gonna grab the knees and we're gonna rock side to side, release any tension that we've built up there. All right, so we're gonna do 2 rounds of bridge pose, and then we're gonna do 3 directions with the legs. All right, so first round of bridge pose is without the arms. Option to have the arms flat on the floor. Second option, robot arms, fingertips point up towards the ceiling, elbows are bent. We want to line up the heels, the knees, and that hip joint. On the inhale, we're going to push the feet into the floor, lift from those hip points. And then exhale, bring the hips back down. Nice and slow. And again, inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Nice. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna do one more round. We're just gonna do a straight up regular bridge pose. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the hips, push the feet into the floor. On the exhale, arms down, hips down. And again, inhale, lift, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. And one more time. Inhale, lift, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Nice. All right, so let's bring both knees in. Do 3 or so Appanasanas. Since bridge pose is a back bend, we want to counter pose. Excellent. All right. Last bit before we do our ending. So we're going to bring the right foot up towards the ceiling, extend that leg straight up. The left knee is bent. Hands come behind that right leg. We're going to exhale, that leg comes into the chest. Inhale, release it back out. Exhale, leg in. Inhale, out. And one more time. Exhale, bring that leg in. Inhale, out. All right, now we're going to go out to the side. So that left arm can come out to a T. And then we're going to drop that right leg over towards the right side. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, out. Inhale, up. And one more time. Exhale, out to the side. Inhale, bring it up. And then we're going to move that left leg out of the way, bring that right arm over to the side, and drop that right leg towards the left side of the floor. And we're just going to hold it here for a breath or so. When you're ready, inhale, lift that leg up. And then exhale, bring that foot to the mat. Other foot comes to the mat. And then left foot up towards the ceiling. Wrap the hands behind that left leg. On the exhale, bring that left leg in towards the chest. Inhale, release it back out. Exhale. And inhale. And one more time. Exhale, leg in. Inhale, leg out. Nice. All right, the right arm can come out to the side, left hand on the outside of that left leg, leaving that left leg down towards the floor. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale out. Inhale up. And one more time. Exhale out to the side. And exhale up. Nice. Move that right leg out of the way. Left arm comes out to the side. We're going to bring that left leg across the body to the right side of the floor. Excellent. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring that leg back up. Bending both knees, both feet come into the mat. One more big round of Apanasana. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. You can do one leg at a time or wide-legged Apanasana. See if you notice when that spine comes back to symmetrical. Excellent. And then let's bring the feet back down to the mat. We're going to extend both legs all the way up to the side, or all the way out in front, straight, wherever. All right. And then let's finish with our palm tree pose arms. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under, and then inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms back down by your side. And again, if there's any shoulder issues, you want to do cactus arms or snow angel arms, you're welcome to do that. Excellent. Finish the one you're on and do one more. And then let's get ready for our final relaxation pose. I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. And if you want to get a sweatshirt back on or a blanket, as the room kind of cools down a little bit while we're in our relaxation pose. So let's do a full body relaxation, walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go. Starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way. Let's finish with sun breath number 3. So it's palms together, elbows together. We inhale, open, exhale, closed. 3 times. Alrighty, here we go. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. And inhale, open. Exhale, closed. And one more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Palms together, back at the heart, and namaste. Thanks, King.